Shalom, 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 shalom. To the 12 tribes scattered abroad, right? First and foremost, right, rather, all praises to the Most High Yahweh, right, Bashem Yahushai, right? Another day that, we're alive to hear this word, man, right? Hey, more importantly, right, all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, right? Lord willing, brothers and sisters, elders, ancient men, ancient women, right? Children following, right? Lord willing, enduring, right? The temptation, man, right? So just, hey, man, through the spirit, kind of wanting to go into a breakdown, regarding, hey, man, the seasons, man, right? The season that we're in, right? The title says Summertime Temptations, right? Fornications, lust, and we have to just kind of say it, man. Pornography. Man. We kind of have to kind of just be straight up and down with it, right? So that's the topic, man. Seduction. Right. I think I might have edited the title, but that's the topic, man. Right. So that being said, kind of gonna get into it, man. Right. We're kind of gonna get into this thing, man. Right. Because we enter into this time period, man. Hey, right, it gets hotter, the heat starts coming out. Right, when the heat starts coming out, hey, the demons start coming out. Right, when the heat starts coming out, the demons, they start coming out as well. Right, so hey, and us that are in this truth, we have to be what, man? We have to be circumspect of these demons, man. Right? We have to be circumspect of these demons. But Lord willing, brothers and sisters can't hear. Right, I hope. Because I don't know if the sound is alright. Right? But Lord willing, brothers and sisters can hear. Right? Let me see. So that one. And I'll start. All right, all praise to the Most High, man. First and foremost, man. Right, us that are in this truth, we have to be circumspect, man. Right? Vigilant, diligent, right? Aware, of all these things, man. Right? So this is First Peter chapter 5. And I'll start from verse 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. But straight up and down, man. Hey, that's how these demons operate, man. They are, and these demons, right? Again, you want to call it demons, or you want to call it spirits, right? Yeah. So these demons, they're very much aware. Yeah. Right, they're very much aware of you, man. Right, they're aware of you, what you like. Right, so you have to be vigilant, man. Right, vigilant. Right. It says, yeah, right, man. Right. It says, with these damn toe adverts. It says, be watch, and that's exactly an example of that, man. They just start putting up stuff, your algorithm. If you keep on saying stuff around your device, all of a sudden now they're pointing to you where you can, I don't know, go and buy some device off Amazon. They got all the answers because they're listening to you, right? So to be vigilant or to be watchful, it means to be watchful, awake, and on the alert, attentive to safety, right? Watchful, right? And well, not anxious, right? It's careful. So if you're being vigilant, right, you're literally right? Being watchful, right? And in this time period where it gets hot, hey, your mind, you start getting tired and thoughts come into your mind, you start thinking stuff. Maybe I don't want to work. It's just kind of long, and that's what the heat does to you, man. Right? This is Matthew 26, and I'll start from verse. Right, I'll start from verse number 40. It says, "And he cometh unto the disciples," right, talking about Christ, "and findeth them asleep, and saith unto them, What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour?" You know, you know, you know. And that's what happens when the heat comes up, man. The affliction. That 1 hour becomes damn 1,000 hours, right? It says, verse 41, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation." So that's going back to that being vigilant, being watchful, being awake. They fell asleep, man. Right? Not meaning they passed into the chamber of souls, right? Meaning what? Hey, they literally fell asleep, right? They were sleeping. Christ said, "Could you not watch me for 1 hour?" Right? It says, "The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." So your flesh, right? You're not being vigilant, watchful, awake, or on the alert, then your flesh is going to be easily consumed by what? By all these wicked things that start to pop up on your algorithm, right? All these things about lust and damn sex, man, just coming up on your phone, on your damn Instagram, and all these, your adverts, some damn lingerie, right? Things you don't even, well, if you're a man wearing lingerie, you have to repent. But point being, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Right? Back in First Peter, right, it says about being sober. Right? About being sober. Right, this is another point. It says being sober. It says moderate in desires. Right? And brother saying, see, moderate and well, listen, and we're gonna get into it a little willing, right? You lost and you damn undressing women in your mind and you're saying, yeah. Right? That's off, man. Right? There is people lost after the kingdom, man. Lost after that, right? It says moderate in desires or actions, habitually temperate, right? Habitually temperate. I'm gonna put that word up, right? So it says consistently exercising self-restraint. That's what you call self-control, man. To be sober, having self-control, self-restraint. For example, you can really, I don't know, you can confound somebody. You can really, put somebody in their place, for example, but you exercise the spirit of self-restraint. Right? And sometimes you have to put somebody in their place, right? But it says self-restraint, moderation, and calmness in their daily life. This means they avoid extremes in behavior, emotions, and indulgences, such as overeating, excessive drinking, or being easily swayed by sudden anger, right? And that could be, that could be a lust as well, man, right? But when we go obviously going on this topic, more so on the sense of lust as uh, you know, illicit, immoral thoughts and feelings towards uh, um, the opposite gender. Right? Some people's lust is towards the same sex, man. But nonetheless, right, it says abstaining from strong drink. And strong drink, right? Let's get that, right? So it says about 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right? So and this is not our brothers, it's just brothers. Hey, sisters as well, man. You have to be sober, be vigilant as well. Right? Damn, getting all these ideas, you're seeing stuff on damn Twitter, sending it here and sending it. Yeah, look. Yeah, we should try this. Hey, that's off. Don't let that. Hey, let's get that, man. You have to. Everything has to be done in righteousness, man. Right? This is Hebrews 13:4. It says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. And I remember one brother, he tried to say, well, some camps, they will teach, say, the bed undefiled. Hey, that means you can do anything. Whatever you and your rib you get up to, hey, it doesn't matter. That's not what the hell that's talking about, man. That is absolutely not what that is talking about. Right? Let's see if it says anything in the Greek. Right? The bed undefiled. Marriage on. You can do, you and your wife, you just doing all kind of, hey, scripture literally tells you. Right? You know, it's the classic precept. Right? It's a classic one. Right? 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, let all things be done decently and in order. So it doesn't mean, okay, you can do whatever the hell you want to do now. Right? You have to do things decently and in order. Right? So let's see what it says in the Greek for this, right? So marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept undefiled. So if your marriage bed is kept undefiled, does it mean, okay, it's got a stain? No, even what you and your significant other get up to, right? It can't be in a spirit that is defiled, right? At least it's unsoiled, right? Right? The marriage bed kept undefiled, right? If something is kept undefiled, right? Let's look at what that means. Because we can't just say, okay, well, this means you and your partner, yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. No, it doesn't mean that. All right, and the AI overview, right? It says, it means, yeah, look, see, we'll take this. It says it means keeping sexual intimacy within a marriage holy and pure. See that? And reserved exclusively for one spouse, free from contamination by outside influences. So that's perfect, right? Does it mean, okay, you only have to have one spouse? Hey, not everything is let's just say in 1 Corinthians 10:23, everything is lawful but not expedient, right? And Lord willing, we will get into that whole topic of that, multiple spouses or whatnot. But point being, it means, and especially this, man, this is for the younger sisters and the younger brothers, man. Right? Don't come to this truth. Well, nobody's gonna know. You live somewhere else. No one knows me here. You're lifting up your damn garments and you're freaking off and doing God knows what. And you come into the congregation. Shalom, everyone. Shalom. That's madness, man. It says it means keeping intimacy, right? Sexual, and we're gonna be playing with it, right? So it means keeping sexual intimacy within a marriage holy and pure, right? And we're supposed to be a nation that's holy and pure. We're not like the Edomites, right? We're not like the Edomites where they they're doing God knows what. They have islands, right? They go to islands and they're doing stuff on islands. People that are underage and damn sacrifice. This is madness. We don't do that. Right? This is Leviticus 20:26, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. So we're not like the other nations, man. And that's when I say we're, those that you come into this truth, You repented from God knows whatever it was you done, right? You've come out of that mindset. You're not supposed to be and the thing is, right? You see in the world, there's many this place is just Babylon, right? Because the access to, you know, the access to, you know, the access to intimacy, right, is just immediate, right? People put on VR, right? Let's see what it says now. Right, so point being, Hebrews 13 and 4, right? Before we move on, Hebrews 13 and 4, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. So if you're a whoremonger, right, and that applies to both men and women. Oh, only a woman can be an adulterer. No, a man can be an adulterer too, right? Because really, this is an adulterer. A man is considered an adulterer. A woman is considered an adulteress, right? But that applies. This is all inclusive. The Most High is not okay. Well, just like it says, man's goings is of the Lord. Does it mean it's just men? No, that's women's too, right? Obviously, the Bible is taught from a masculine perspective, right? That's why it says Ban Yasha Allah, meaning really the sons of men, right? So, and it's really aimed at the men because it's the man that's supposed to lead and the woman is supposed to follow, right? That's how the don't come. Oh well, why can't I lead? And you have to have an ancient mindset. An ancient mindset, women weren't even really working, man, right? To the way that they are today, right? But it says a whoremonger, right? And we're going to pull up these terms, right? So again, Hebrews 13, it's in the Greek as well, right? It says, I'll read it again. Marriage should be honored because some people don't honor marriage, right? By all, and the marriage bed kept undefiled, meaning untainted, free from contamination, right? For God will judge the sexually immoral. That this is perfect, right? A debauchee, right? A debauchee, right? See that? Not like a French word, right? A debauchee, right? Is a noun describing someone who habitually indulges in excessive, often immoral or sensual pleasures, such as excessive drinking, drugs, or promiscuity. You see that? See that? Someone lacking moral restraint. And I don't want. You see that? Right? It's the spirit of a debauchee, right? Wine and smadness, right? But nonetheless, I digress, right? Into that in bodily or sensual pleasure. So the people that and they are how to pronounce it, they're debauchees, man. Where they don't, oh no, I need to go and right. Damn, trying to find someone's private parts, man. Right? So it says someone who acts without moral or sexual restraint. Right? So some people have the debauchee spirit. Right? So going back to it, it says, and adulterers, see, again, an adulterer, that is a man who is guilty with a married woman. Perhaps primary palmer, right. So and again that can apply to both. I stop thinking, oh, just a woman. She's just a man. A woman can be an adulterer or adulteress too. This precept is all inclusive. Marriage should be on point, straight up and down. Right. So that being said, I think I was gonna search the word, right? Hormones, right? Right, hormones. Right. See that whoremonger is an archaic, meaning like an ancient word, basically, right? Old fashioned or ancient. Or and derogatory term used to describe a man who consorts with sex workers or a pimp who manages them. It is a combination of whore and the suffix monger. So like a monger, like a fishmonger. A fishmonger would they'll deal with selling fish. A whoremonger, see that? Which, when you put the words together, it makes sense. Meaning a dealer or trader. The term is rarely used. And we got to start using that word again. Right? So, like it says, an offensive term for a female sex, see that? So, straight up and down, the spirit of a whoremonger, most sides not dealing with that. Most sides not dealing with someone, and we're not going to click the images for this one. Right? But, hey, we don't want to have that kind of spirit, man. We're having an adulterer or a whoremonger. Because, hey, the Most High is going to judge you. How's he going to judge you? Right? Right? This is how he's going to judge you. Right? This is how the Most High is going to judge you. Right? And there's a term. Right? There's these terms that they use for them. Right? They call them city girls. Right? We're bringing it all out, man. Right? And there's city girls, these two Eves. Right? They promote. Right? You see? And, and we'll most explicit song, look, right? Look. You see what comes up. You see, and this is the issue. This is the issue because if this is what you put into your mind, right? Finish a preset, nowhere I can find it. If this is what you put into your mind, right? Right, I believe it might be in Titus. Right, if this is what you put into your mind, and you can just tell by the front cover. But if we read it, it says real RSB give a F about a N word, stripes on my, so he called this tiger. See that? If his money right, he can eat it like a, you see? So if this is this is on your mind, and these are the songs, right, that the young women are listening to, right? And then they're coming back, and then they're saying, yeah, I want a real Negro, right? That's what they're saying. But where's that in the Bible, man? Right? See, the songs, right? P talk, right? The anthem centered on the idea of artist influence and their requirement for luxury treatment, designer goods, right? Right, and there's a word called monopolize. Monopolize meaning, right? In this day and age, people try to monopolize, right, their body parts, right? Let's see. Is it monopolize or weaponize? What's it? Weaponize maybe? Right? Might be weaponized, right? But you can't weaponize meaning. If you weaponize something, it says means adapting an ordinary object, substance or concept, so it can be used to attack, harm, or gain an advantage over someone. And that's what is done in today's day and age, where okay, now I've got this good whatever, I got this good, this good this, and those that are watching, if you have ears to hear, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Women say I have good this, a guy saying I have good that. Hey, man, that's off. You can't weaponize your damn body parts, right? Weaponize, so you use it to gain an advantage. I'm not giving you nothing, right? But so people will do that, man, right? People will do that, right? And let me see if I can get that preset, right? I wanted a preset in the book. or I believe it's Titus, right? Because people, hey, people do that, man. People say, oh well, he can't, he's not getting this. Hey, people, people use that, right? Let's see, when I can find it, right? Salakia, right? Let's see if I can get it over there. Uh, let me see. Maybe. Let me see. It might be in Titus, right? Salakia. No, but maybe no, but not. Maybe I'll find it, man. But there's a precept. It kind of tells you. Let me see. It's in maybe in Paul's writings. Maybe I'll find it. Let's see. It's none of these precepts. Maybe I'll see. Maybe I'll see what this. No, it's not that, man. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that at all. Right? Lord willing, I'll find it. Right? But there's a precept and it tells you, hey, about the things you put into your mind, right? Things you listen to. Right? So straight up and down, right, Lord, and going back to it, it says an STI stands for sexually transmitted infections. That's the judgment, right? In Hebrews 13:4, about Yahweh will judge. Right? Now you get in, it's a medical term for any infection passes from person to person through sexual contact, right? So, and I remember right, when I was in college, I remember there was an Eve, right? And she, hey man, she was talking to, I think, someone that was like quite older than her. And she was obviously active, with this person, and come to find out, and she got some sort of STI, man. And she's all kissing up her cousins and her nephews. It's like, hey, stop letting people kiss your children, some random strangers, right? You're just kissing your children. It's madness, man, right? Because God knows who these people they lay down with, right? You're not in an honorable marriage, and they're just it says it passes person to person, man. Right? See that? These are the judgments, man. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, HPV, HIV. You see that? So look at it, it says they include unusual discharge, man. Pain during urination, rashes, and so. Hey, these are the judgments that the Most High is putting up this summer, man. Right? So some of these ones you can't get rid of. You're trying to wash your garment, you're trying hard, you're down, doing a hand wash. Hey, it's not coming off, man. That's why us that are in this truth, hey, now whether, and again, there's no respect to persons, right? There's no respect to persons, man. You say, oh, well, I'm too young. Hey, anyone can, it doesn't matter, man. Right? Anyone can, this can happen to anyone. Right? This can literally happen to anyone. Right? But that's why, hey, there's no respect to persons when it comes down to judging the matter, man. It can't be an unrighteous balance, right? We get the classic Romans 2, right, and 11. There's no respect to persons. Shouldn't respect the persons, man. We have to be real about this whole subject, especially for those, oh, I'm too young. It's never gonna happen. Hey, you never know. Romans 2:11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. Meaning what, man? Right? We have to be honest. And again, they say prevention is better than cause. Why wait till, okay, well, yeah, like, what they call it, man? People trying to settle down when they're 50, right? Hey, in the ancient world, it would, your father really decided, hey, look, all right, you're ready to go, right? Oh, I'm not, I don't really, hey, that's on your father, man, right? That's really up to your father, right? Because then, the man, you would have paid a dowry and etc., in a righteous way, not in some damn baby mom kind of vibe, man. Right, but nonetheless, man, right? Judgment, right, is out there, man. So look, right, something called CE, right? CE girl summer, right? Look, so CE girl summer, right? It says, right, and it's more than just what they say is here, man. Right? They say about the aesthetic. That's off. Hot girl summer. What we weren't talking about, you see? When you're holding it up. And there's many words we can look at it. They call it 304s, right? You see that? So hey, watch out for these terms, man. In internet slang and social media, 304 is a derogatory term for a promiscuous or sexually active woman, right? The slang is derived from old school calculator spelling. You see that? When the numbers are typed, see that? When the numbers are typed on a calculator and turned upside down, it spells the word HOE, right? And I didn't even know that, right? I didn't even know that. I actually didn't know that, right? I knew it was a 304, but I didn't know that when you turn it around. So that's just madness, right? 304. So yeah, you see that? We don't want to have the 304 spirit at all. Because when you go into the ancient world, they were so serious about a woman, right? A woman that, right? A woman, a woman that was a woman was a very delicate, and firstly, right, just to remind the daughter of Sarah, right, being a daughter of Sarah is an important thing, right? Don't think, oh well, I'm just somebody's rib, I'm just the Eve, right? I'm just a hey, being a daughter of Sarah is a lot to it, man. Because I'm done nothing, I'm nothing, right? So like, yeah, that's just madness. Right, well, normally you can see me still, right? I hope it's not in see. Alright, that should be better. Alright, so this is First Peter 3, and I'll start from verse. Because just because you may not have a head yet, the water says, right? The water. Being that you don't have, you might not have a husband, right? You might not have a wife. Does that mean I want to give up? Hey, that's your lot right now, man. There were women in, look at Hannah, man, and she was barren. Hannah was barren. The Lord, hey, he blessed her, man. You got to endure that. You got to endure that for that season, for that time, right? But this is First Peter 3, and I'll start from verse number 5. It says, "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh adorned themselves," right? And they weren't ugly, right? These women, they weren't ugly women, right? And we know the how you look isn't defined by your outward appearance, whether you're wearing, and we see it at camp all the time, and I'm sure everyone you see it wherever you are, hey, just wearing God knows what, man. They adorn themselves in what? Righteous apparel. Even the, and we'll get to it, Lord willing, being in subjection unto their own husbands. And if you don't have a head right now, right? Who is your head, man? Who is your current? And really, if you don't have a head right now, really, your covering would be, maybe a male figure, right? Maybe your uncle, your dad, some man in your life, that you go to, get advice every now and then. Lord willing, someone in the truth, but really, there's a divine order, right? This is First Corinthians, right? Madness. Right, we know the classic First Corinthians 11 and verse 3. It says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh." Right? So the head of a woman, and this goes into a woman having a covering over her, right? And that's in orderly. That's being in order. Right? There's nothing. Oh, why is he over me? That's the order that the Most High set up as, man. Right? So going back to it, so women were in subjection, and if it wasn't into their own husband, it may have been the dad, uncle, the brother, right? So reading on, it says, "Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham," and obeyed, does that mean Abraham said, "Look, wipe my shoes now, wipe my shoes now," right? Because there's a lot of women, they say, "Okay, it's misogynistic." Hey, this is the Bible. This is an ancient mindset. It's not about the Western world and this New Age feminism, right? Calling him Lord as a sign of reverence, "whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid of any amazement." So I want to see that, right, in this, right? We have to get that in another translation. Right, let's see what that says in another translation. Right, because you're supposed to be a daughter, you're not supposed to be a damn 304, right? Or a city girl, a hot girl summer. Right? Oh yeah, hot girls. Right? That's just madness, man. That's what the world wants you to do. Most side doesn't want you to do that. Right? So let's get it in the Amplified. This is First Peter 3, verse 7. It says, yeah, right. This is not it. It says, "Just as Sarah obeyed Abraham, following him and having regard for him as head of their house, calling him Lord, and you have become her daughters. If so this is the contingency, you become a daughter of Sarah if you do what is right without being frightened by any fear." Because some people, they're fighting and they want to fit in, right? I want to join the group. I want to be a city. Hey, go be a city girl, man, and catch some of them STIs. And then, okay, I need a Hebrew man, because they, sex is marriage, and they go and lay down, and you go lay down and you give him something, right? And likewise the men as well. Oh, well, I'm trying to repent, and right? Something like that. You gotta disclose that, man. Right? It says, without being frightened by any fear, that is being respectful towards your husband, but not giving into intimidation. Listen to this. Nor allowing yourself to be led into sin, nor to be harmed. That's beautiful, right? That is beautiful, right? Don't be too timid, man. Right? Don't be timid, right? But that being said, hey, you sisters, say you have to be diligent as well, man. Right? You have to be diligent. Don't be in awe of, these men, right? These men, oh, he looked amazing, and oh my God, don't be like, see, we know, Eve's, right? Don't see, and this is that spirit of, seduction, fornication, pride. You're seeing something and you want to go, oh, yes, wow. You damn sweating, man. Did you see how he looked at me? Hey, calm down. Right? This is Genesis 3. And I'll start from verse number 6. It says, and when the woman saw the tree, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, right? Who said that it was good for food, man? When did the Most High say, oh, it's good for food, right? And that it was pleasant to the eyes, and that's seduction. That's seduction, because just because something looks pleasant to the eyes, oh yeah, let me just take that, right? The classic precept, Proverbs 14 and 12. I'll start from verse 11. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. So the house of the wicked, they're easily beguiled, man. That's why Adam's whole household was overthrown, right? It says, verse 12, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And what's that death, right? What comes with that death, right? What is death? Oh yeah, I just died, and right, you don't know. It's talking about you, and the Most High, he might kill you literally, man. Oh, God killed me. Hey, maybe you committed adultery with somebody's, wife. That guy's not gonna say, okay, yeah, you trying to give, here's £500, here's £500. Yeah, £500, £500. No, I'm sorry, bro, I didn't. That guy might pull out a shotgun, man, from under the bed that you just laid down with his wife on. He might bring out a shotgun and say, okay, can't do it again then. It's Romans 6 and 23. It says, for the wages of sin is death. That's the death here, man. But the gift of Yahweh is eternal life through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Lord. Plain. That's that death, sin. Right? So just because something looks pleasant to your eyes, oh, look at this is beautiful. Look how she could, and it's he as well. Right? And more stories, man. Right? My rib, she told me, when she was at university, that, there was some I think might be an Arab girl. She was with this guy. Come to find out, hey, this guy was doing judge on her, man. Right? The guy was doing, obviously she's laying down with her, right? She's laying down with him, sorry, right? And this guy's doing witchcraft and God knows what. And people don't realize that even when you lay down with people, that is a way to intercess some kind of witchcraft, man. Oh, no, you're lying. Do a Google search. Watch these movies, man. Right? Some women, they put down, they will make you a spaghetti sandwich, right? And they will take their flour, right, and put it in there, and you're obsessed with that. You're obsessed with that woman. Now you don't even realize. Oh yeah, this is great, honey. This is great. You just met her 3 days ago. Now you're having spaghetti bolognese, right? And you're wondering why you're supposed to eat at everyone's house, man. I met her on Tinder, right? It says, currently reading on Genesis 3 and 6, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So just because something looks good to the eye, does it mean you should go and take it, man? Right? Just because there's banks that are down the road, should you now say, okay, let me go stick up this bank. Let me rob the bank. No. Right? So, and calm, man, the heart is desperately wicked, man. Like the sister put. The heart is desperately wicked. Right? And let's get that. That's another one. That's a good precept. That's a classic precept. right? Why is the heart desperately wicked? And we're not willing, we might touch on the whole angle of how people's they just lose it, man. And this is all to do with the brain, right? And the brain is obviously the heart, right? This is I'll start from 5. This is Jeremiah 17:5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh his arm, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord." And if you make flesh your arm, that means you're what does that mean? You're making you're making your carnal self, you know, your power, man. Because your arm, you know, like it brought the Lord brought out the children of Israel with a strong hand. Your arm is your power. Your hand is your power, right? Your right hand, right? So, and if your heart departs from the Lord, then you know the algorithm is just played with this all evil, man. All kind of lust, wickedness, evil thoughts, man. And that's how you get tempted in this summer heat. It says, verse 6, "But he shall be," see that? "He shall be," it's Jeremiah 17:6, "for he shall be like the heath in the desert." And a heath is like a ball of nothing, right? A ball of haze that, you know, they roll across the damn desert, right? Or it's them plants that are just, they don't have anything going for them. That's heath. You're going to be like a heath in the desert, looking and hunting for the precious life, right? It says, like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. And if you have a land, right? And again, we're an agricultural people, we have to know about salt on the land. Salt, right? It can be used to kill weeds, man, right? You see that? So, and again, and this is spiritual, man, right? This is spiritual. It's not just some basic, okay, salt in the land, not inhabit. What does that mean, right? Salt is highly effective at killing weeds, but it's not recommended for general garden use. But now, what they're using now, they don't use salt. They'll use pesticides, all these other things now, right? And even that being said, right, let's go to Matthew 13, right? Because a Satan, what does he do, man? He sows, just like Yahweh Shemi Shai, you know, he sows the seed of righteousness into our hearts. On the left-hand side, Satan is working, man. And he's using Esau to plague your damn algorithm, to plague what you watch, to put these films up with damn LGBTQ and all this madness, right? To make you think that, to make you go off, to make you want to lust after God knows what, to make you fornicate, to make you damn put on some damn app and you're liking stuff and you're damn scrolling, man. Damn at night. Just freaking off in the night, man. Your parents are next door. They're sleeping, sorry. Damn, running upstairs, you're locking your door, you're shutting the lights, man. Right? Got tissue everywhere, man. That's really, and you're staring at a screen. And really, the more you're really damaging your what do you call it, man? You're damaging your gray matter, man. You're damaging your brain and how you think. But Jake, in his simplicity, does he care? Does he think about this? No, he doesn't. Right? At some point, you have to repent from it. Right? You just sat there looking at a damn screen. Really, that's the spirit of a damn homosexual, man. Because you're looking at another man doing something with a woman, and for some reason you're getting a fix. It's madness. But this is Matthew 13, And I'll start from yeah, Matthew 13 and verse maybe 19. All right, this is Matthew 13 and 24. Matthew 13, 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. So what's good seed, man? Right, good seed is the commandments, right? Repenting, right? Keeping the feast days, your faith increasing, you keeping the commandments by your faith. Right, these are good seeds, right? But then you also have bad seeds, man. Right? People put bad seeds in your mind. Right? They put bad seeds in your mind. And what's a bad seed? Your algorithm being flooded on Instagram. You like one post, it's finished, man. You stare at that post for 3 seconds. The rest of what you're going to be watching now is just packed with it. Right? It says the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. Reading on, it says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. So when someone sows good seed, hey, there's somebody sowing bad seed as well. Right? This is revelation. And how did they sow that bad seed, man? Right? Through damn pornography, man. Pornography is a seed. Right? This is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Right? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. But hey, John 3:16 though. Right? Just bear that in mind. God, just what do you call it, man? Off topic. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, but God loves everyone. Let's just make that make sense, right? John 3:16, right? But woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So the seed of pornography, and we have to just talk about it, we have to be real. That is that's a seed that's sown in people's minds, right? Who created, right? You have to kind of talk about it, man. And a lot of the time, all right, we're gonna see a lot of the time, man. Right, in the modern day, you have what's it, Amalek, man. Right, Amalek is behind a lot of this, man. See, you got is it Hugh Hefner, right? These names, they look like names that are Amalek. Let's see. Hugh Hefner, he's not. Right, but this name, Starman, Ruben Starman, right? Let's see. See that? Right? See? So, why do you think they done that? Why do you think this guy, who coincidentally is an Amalekite, why do you think he done that? Oh no, it was just a coincidence. No, it wasn't a coincidence, man. Right? It says that Satan, he has a short time. So rather than you knowing you're an Israelite and repenting from your fornication, your lust, right? From watching God knows what, and he sends you this, man. He sends you Reuben Stallman. I said Reuben. I said he's one of the tribes, right? Off. Like they called him the Walt Disney of pornography, right? And they say he was just Al Goldstein. See that? It says he's best known for publishing the sex newspaper. You see, look at this man. Look at these devils, man. Right? You see, right? Can you trust a man like this, man? He looks like this. This just spells disaster. Right? But let's read it. Right? And again, his background was born in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, to a Jewish family. Right? Not that that's any sort of coincidence, but Alvin Goldstein was an American pornographer, best known for publishing the sex newspaper and normalizing some damn freakism, man. You see that? It's madness. You even put that out, man. It's madness. So there you go, man. Satan, right? He is very tactful in how he goes about setting these things up. Right? So you got the Romans, right? It's just 16th century to the Romans, right? And even OnlyFans, man. Right? Oh, OnlyFans, yeah. Right. And he just died recently. Tim Stokely, man. What a great family business to make, man. Let's see. Let's see. We have to always double down. So there's another one. Leonid Brzezinski, the billionaire entrepreneur who purchased a majority stake, because these guys, just like with music, man, they know how Jakes are, good at music and whatnot, and they take advantage of these things. He bought 75%. Right? But point being, right, back to the precepts, man. Right? Jeremiah 17 and verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, whose hope the Lord is. Right? So again, blessed is that man that you don't trust in some screen you're watching at night. Right? It says verse 8. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her root by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, and heat is affliction. People that, in the truth, they the heat hits them, they see some kind of woman online, and again, right? In this truth, yeah, man. So like, yeah, man, on Instagram, you have a lot of what do you call them, man? These fake bots, man. Some bot accounts. People they're asking for money, these women, you all got the same damn account. You all got the same damn image. Oh, Shalom King, hope is what damn trying to damn ask for money. Right? They're talking to you all sweetly and nicely. Right? Salakia, man. Madness. Right? Madness. Salakia. All right, calm. I was going crazy, man. But hey, who praise it, man? Right? As I was saying, right? And it's truth, man. You have these random bot accounts, man. and they will be talking to you like, oh yeah, shalom, and you know, shalom, and if you're simple, you're gonna, oh, yeah, shalom, sis, and damn, hitting three X's, saying, oh, shalom, can't act waff. What you doing, act waff? She's damn some bot, some damn fake account, probably Nigeria somewhere, man. Right? So it says, and shall not see when he cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. And if you don't, if you see some yielding fruit, like a woman, if you know she becomes barren, hey, that's like ceasing from yielding fruit. But it says you won't cease from yielding fruit, man. Right? You'll be abundant. It says, verse 9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And your heart is wicked, man. Right? Your heart is damn wicked. Heart is, you know, even a thought, can be sin. Right? How can a thought be sin? That's crazy, man. Hey, a thought can be sin, man. Right? Let's see if I can get that. Proverbs 21 and 24. Right? We're gonna get that. Proverbs 24. See that? Proverbs 24 and verse 9. It says, the thought of foolishness is sin. So even a thought, what you think in your mind, hey, that can be sin. You thinking, oh yeah, this woman, damn, right? Hey, what did Christ say about that, man? It's getting hot, and you know, she would be nice to me. You don't even know who she is. She could be married, right? He could be married, right? You're damn trying to, right? And again, you know, you have to, what's the word, man? You gotta know the precepts, man, right? Because again, you know, reminder, you didn't know. And no, it is not a sin for a man to have more than one wife. Is it expedient? Not in everybody's case, right? Again, you know, your man, you have precedent over how you run your household, right? But this is Matthew 5, right? And it doesn't matter what some guy's doing a breakdown, he's saying this. Doesn't matter what he said. What did precepts say? Oh, you know, Christ. Where did Christ? Christ didn't change it, right? But let's go to Matthew 5, verse number. Let's start at 27. It's Matthew 5 and 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery, man. Right? Christ is quoting the law. The Christians don't want to keep this one. Well, they'll keep this one, though. But their understanding of what adultery is, adultery isn't, or even fornication. Fornication isn't, we slept together outside of marriage. Hey, sex is marriage, man. Sex is marriage. There are ways, but again, that just because sex is marriage doesn't mean, oh well, I had sex with her. She's my wife. She didn't know what the hell you didn't break that down to her though, did you? You know, you're just using the precepts. You're just using the precepts to manipulate sisters. Yeah, see, look, you're damn telling some Eve, she don't know what the hell that is. Tonight, yeah, look, see, we slept together. That's it. We're locked in now. She has no idea what the hell you. What? Be upfront. Even sisters, man. You know, be upfront. No, we're not. You have to prove. You have to prove each other. Hey, prove each other, man. Oh no, I don't want to prove. Hey, thou shalt not commit adultery, man. Right? Again, fornication is an umbrella term. Right? There's many types of fornication, man. Fornication isn't predicated just because you have marriage outside of before you got married. When you lay down with that person, that is that marriage. You know, some people they go the route and again, you know, in WFI we always put it forth to brothers. Hey, speak to that a sister's father, or a man that's a covering for her and that's in her life. No, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna. Hey, that's off, man. Right? It's out of order. Right? It says, verse 28. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, have committed adultery with her already in his heart. Right? So you damn looking at women, man. Even sisters, you looking at men, you are, I wonder what he would be like. Yo, that's off, man. Like it says, hey, Proverbs 24:9. The fruit of foolishness is sin. Right? The fruit of foolishness is sin. Right? It's another precept. James 4 and verse 17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So again, you know, man. Oh, no, I shouldn't be looking. Just one incy wincy peak. Right? Now you're seeing one incy wincy spider, man. Right? So like, man. Right? I can't find it, man. But hey. Right? It's not gonna reach. Hey, nonetheless, man. Right? Lord willing, I can still see, right? Because it is a bit dark, right? But hey, man, you know, you undressing someone in your mind, you're damn, that's off. Have some self-restraint, like we went into, right? You don't know how to damn hold it together, hold it down, right? And you know, people think, oh yeah, well, you damn have some damn sort of some kind of demon on you, right? Just because, you know, you go get a wife, that's not going to sort it out, right? This is First Corinthians. And it's not going to sort it out to, oh yeah, I just got a wife and now that's it. Because again, and we can dive into that a little bit, right? But this is First Corinthians 7, verse. I'll start at 2. It says, and again, let me start at 1, because it's look, it's First Corinthians 7 and 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Some people, they don't. You get a woman, you're gonna leave the truth, man. You get a husband, you're gonna leave the truth, right? Because you're not really rooted. Don't come into this thing, oh, I need a husband. If I get a husband, that's why don't be in the truth because you need a husband, man. Don't be in the truth because, oh, I need a wife. If I don't have a wife, then I don't know what to. Hey, that's off. That's off. It's off. Right? That's literally off. Oh, because my husband, I need a husband, and when I get a husband, then we're gonna be me and my husband. We're gonna be like Abraham, and Sarah. We're gonna be like Elkanah and Hannah. Are we gonna be like David and Abigail? Or we're gonna be like David and Michal? Right? Or we're gonna be like Mary and Joseph? Hey, well, your foundation is damn set in this truth because, oh, well, I need a husband. Hey, you're not gonna make it because that's not sincere. It's not sincere. All right? It's the book of Matthew. Yeah, see that? Now Satan's not really trying to let me go to the precepts, man. Matthew 6 and 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So like we said, the heart is deceitful above all things. So if your heart is set, oh, well, I need a husband, I need a wife. Well, it's like idolatry almost, man. You're so focused on trying to get a wife rather than getting your spirit right. You know, getting your funds right. You know, having something for yourself, and you know, an accountability in the scriptures, and having taking counsel from leadership or whatever. Your heart is set on, I need a husband, I need a wife, right? So don't let the summertime heat now confound. And people don't realize, man, right? That's what Paul was saying. Hey, Paul was saying, hey, it's better for a man not to touch a woman, man. And again, in the spirit, it's a liability, right? In some people's mindset, it's a liability because you can't do the work. You're hindered almost from doing the work at times, right? You can't, damn, you know, you can't do certain things, right? Because of that responsibility, right? You now have, right? So reading on the First Corinthians 7:2, it says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband, right? And this is not associated with, a man having one wife only, right? Playing upon tables to avoid that, a woman that's married to this person, hey, that's keep it to that. Because there was confusion in this church, a son was taking his dad's wife. There's all kinds of sort of madness, and that's another lust, man. That's that damn, even on these websites, man. These damn folly tubes, right? Damn step this and step that. That's all weird, man. That's weird spirits, man. And you're destroying your grey matter. Like, I've done a lesson on it before, not on here, but you're destroying your grey matter. You're destroying the part of your brain where pleasure is a natural thing, and you're damn overdoing it, and it's just crumbling your brain. Then you now need more and more and more, and then you damn end up on Epstein's island, man. Right? Oh, how did I get here? Hey, you know how you got there, right? Because you didn't do things decently and in order. You know how you got. Oh, how did I get an STI? Hey, you know how you got an STI, man. Stop pretending. Oh, well, how did this happen? Hey, you know how it happened. You didn't want to follow the Most High, or Shimmy Al Shai. You want to follow what some damn girl was telling you on text. Yeah, meet me here, link me here, and we're gonna go to 8. And then the judgment came. Right? It says, obviously going into due benevolence, but point being, some people, it's better for them to just, hey man, just keep the commandments, man, and be that simple man. What's it saying, Sirach? I think it's in Sirach 19. Right, Sirach 19. You don't want to be, oh yeah, be that simple man or woman, right? Damn, it gets hot now. It's all getting hot now. I need a rib, man. I need a rib. Kind of cool. Oh yeah, man. Talking to a brother on the phone. Hey, man. Shalom King, man. Shalom King. How did you do it, man? How did you get a rib? Right? How did you damn? Oh man. I wish, man. Hey, be careful what you wish for, man. Right? Be careful what you wish for. Right? It's just Sirach 19. See. Yeah, see that Sirach 19:24. It says, he that have small understanding and fear of Yahweh is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. So you want to have that kind of, and when it means simple, right? Simple in the context of, Jacob, hey, it says that he was a plain man. Really, that goes into being complete. That's simple. That's what that really goes in that context. Because you have the simple where people are like let's put it up as well. Look, see, so simple can be free from this duplicity. So the word duplicity. It means, see that? What about Just the meaning of the word, man. Right? It says upright, guiltless, guiltless. I believe it is blameless, innocent, harmless. But then it can be on the left hand side, ignorant, uneducated, unsophisticated, simple-minded, foolish. Right? So you want to have that spirit of being plain, right? Or being like a plain man, right? Like it says, right? Have your small understanding. You keep the commandments, faith in Christ, washing your shy, keeping the feast days, the law, statutes, commandments, for your faith. It's better to be that than to, I need a wife, man. I need a husband. You talking to sisters, oh man. How is it having a husband? Hey, it can be hell sometimes, man. But hey man, you be careful what you wish for. Right? So again, hey, the heart is deceitful above all things, man. Right? And let's touch on it. Right? So, let's see if I can put up something here. Right? Right? I mean, we have to go into this, man. Right? Maybe this might be good. So yeah, you see? Right? Let me see if I share the sound. Right, it's quite dark. But okay, so it's a calm. Oh, we can see you. Okay, that was good. Let me see if I have to. Let me know if you can hear the sound, maybe. See that? So can anyone hear that? If you can hear that, just like a calm or something. You know? I don't know if anyone can hear it. Right. Let's see. Do I have to share it again? To share the sound? Let's see. Right. It's quite dark. So like yeah, right? Let me see. So share. Oh, sure. Okay, cool. Let's see. So let me let this play, and then I'll.
This is what your brain looks like. And this is your brain on porn. Not to sound like a corny 90s PSA, but these are actual brain scans that show just how much excessive porn usage alters your brain structure and reward system. In fact, porn is so potent that it can damage and rewire your brain in the exact same way drug addiction would. Here's how it works. Pornography triggers the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and reward in the brain. Over time, repeated exposure to pornography activates delta FOSB, a molecule that regulates the reward system in your brain and accumulates when you engage in any addictive behavior. This molecule basically acts like an electric switch in the brain and creates new neural pathways in response to overstimulation, aka dopamine release from watching porn. The more exposure to porn, the more this switch goes off. This is what your brain looks like. And this
Yeah. So, right. It made the comparison, yeah, right, of the watching of pornography to the effects of damn taking drugs, man. So that's no light matter, right? That's no light matter, right? If something is comparable and it goes, that's you're an addict, man, right? That's addiction, right? So that's lust, man, right? Let me see if I can find another, right? Um, One video, this is, I think, is my favorite one, I think. Alright, no, right, yeah, this is the one. It's like 1 minute. So I hope you're sharing the sound as well. Right, if you can see this, if you can hear the sound, I'm sure let me know. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so there's no sound. Right. Let's see. Alright, divided. Alright, so
shape.
The brain is a fascinating machine, really.
In terms of brain plasticity, everything that we do each and every day shapes our brain.
We call it neuroplastic, just as plastic is changeable and malleable. We can change the shape of the brain.
And I actually did a study recently on this. So we put people in the scanner and we looked at their brain structure and associated this brain structure with the amount of pornography they consume. So basically we found in our study that the gray matter in the reward center is generally smaller in those people who watch more porn.
We've seen that with multiple addictions, from methamphetamine to cocaine.
So you see that? You see that? You see that? So, and if your gray matter, your reward center, right, is smaller in your brain, what does that mean, man? You're gonna be what do you call it, an incel. Right, you're gonna have an incel, man. You're gonna have an incel spirit, right? There, because you lack the what's the word, man? If you're again, it said about the reward center being small and smaller, right? Reward center in the brain. See the effects of that. If your reward center see that? So it says that this means the brain requires longer, stronger stimuli to feel pleasure. So if your brain, your gray matter, see now we're going into psychology, right? The brain. And people say, oh, well, how's that in the Bible? How's that in the Bible? It's in the Bible, right? It's in the Bible. All right. Oh, it's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. Hey, it is in the Bible. Right. So look, yeah. Let's go to showing the full screen. Right. But we're gonna go back to that video. But look. So it says, so I said I brought up the point of you're gonna have an incel spirit. It says involuntary celibate. You see that? Is a member of an online subculture of individuals, men who define themselves as unable to find romantic partners, romantic, or we're not dealing with that whole, oh, this is my sexual partner. It's either a wife, right, or your rib or your head, right? Ain't no, oh, this is my sexual partner. This is my we're in an open relationship. And that's off. Oh, we're in a, sometimes she'll go and see John, and then she'll come and see me, and that is off. It says despite, so they desire, people that they can't get, toxic ideology, extreme misogyny, and the Bible's not misogynistic, and a sense of entitlement to sex. You see that? So if you're an incel, you're just a damn, you're going off. Let's put it like that. So it says, so in the video, they said about the reward center in the brain, right? So people say, oh, where is this in the Bible? How do we know? Hey, let's read about Daniel, man. Right? Daniel, Shadrach, Mishael, and Abednego, right? But really, we know it's Hananiah. See, I got the names mixed up. Salaki, right? Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. But their names have changed to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And obviously Daniel being Belteshazzar, right? This is Daniel 1 at verse 4. It says, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science, and as had ability in them to stand in the king's place, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. So let's look at that word science. Right? They want no dumb guys, man. Right? Look at Israelites today, man. You give them the same amount of funding and help as these Edomites and these damn Moabites, man. Right? See, look how we're just talking. Now damn Korea dates is popping up. Right? Damn Korea dates. So anyway, science, a state of fact of knowing what is known, knowledge. So science is just about knowledge. So Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, right? They were men of knowledge, and they could stand in front of the king. You tell Jake, all Jake knows how to do now, if he stands in front of these so-called kings, man, he shake the hand and put that damn MBE thing on, man, or OBE, member of the damn British. Now you're a byword. You're fulfilling Deuteronomy 28, right? So this is the science, man, right? So again, the reward center in the brain, So we have to kind of get into these things, man. Right? The dope, see, and this is all interesting, man. Right? The amygdala, right? So you have certain parts of the brain which are responsible for how you think. That's why people go out and kill people, man. And they're murderers, right? Because they haven't got any consequential thinking. People commit lewd acts because what? Because they're drinking, and drinking is not a sin. They're drunk, they're damn doing balloons, so like, yeah, damn vossy bopping, right? Damn doing lean. All these things, man. But keeping the commandments of the Most High, man. Through their faith. So look, so the brain's reward system. So you got, I think it might be the frontal cortex. Maybe it is, right? So let's see. Let's read it nonetheless, right? It says, so the lady mentioned about having the gray matter, the reward center being smaller and smaller. It says this can, so it says a smaller reward center, primarily the nucleus accumbens and the ventral stratum or lower dopamine receptor density typically leads to reward deficiency. This can manifest as an inability to feel pleasure from everyday activities. See that? Anhedonia. Now you got anhedonia. You got an anhedonia spirit. Let's see that. Anhedonia, right? Inability to feel pleasure in activities that are usually considered to be pleasurable. Now you that because and again, you can have a wife, a husband. You damn use it. People buy these rose toys, man. Rose toys or right, these God knows what. And now, your partner trying to lay down. Now you don't feel, you're not really feeling that pleasure. Because again, a marriage is honorable, man. Right? That's the due benevolence. Right? Now you don't, I'm not really feeling it tonight. And you know, because you have anhedonia, you have an inability to feel pleasure. And that's more, it's not just, you know, in terms of, you know, when you're intimate with your partner, it's even now when you're going outside, man. Because it says what? Chronic, I've never heard of this. Chronic lack of motivation and a higher susceptibility to impulse, addictive or higher risk behaviors to artificially stimulate the brain. That's why people go out and, you know, they take women by force, right? They're just going for men to men, and that's really like you know, people, they're looking for a hole to close, man, right? They got a hole within themselves. They know it. Oh, I need to, and then they rod to rod, man. They got rod to rod. Right? They're riding. They're going to rod wave, man. They don't know which, you know. So because what they're looking for, an artificial way to stimulate their brain. So now they don't come outside and I'm not really feeling it. Because what, man? Because they got anhedonia. Right? So, you know, the brain has different parts, man. Right? Brain, you have the amygdala, used for, right? The amygdala. Right? And this is another one, actually. The amygdala, right? This is an almond-shaped structure, right? Is primarily used to process emotions like fear, especially fear and aggression, initiate fight or flight, survival responses to help create emotional memories, right? And this really is when people lose their what's the word, man? Yeah, look, there we go. So damage to the amygdala, the brain's primary emotional, and again, if if your reward center is, you know, has a deficiency, your ability to recognize and experience fear or any kind of emotion, that's going to be you desensitized. Because it says, because the amygdala is a paired structure, one on each side of the brain, that affects depend heavily on whether the damage is unilateral, one-sided, or bilateral, both sided. You see that? So what you're watching, you're putting in your mind, right? That can destroy everything, man. Right? So you got see that? So you got different parts of the brain, right, that are used for different purposes. Right? Got the temporal lobe for hearing, learning, and feelings. The frontal lobe, that's where you're thinking. I believe that's the front. That's where you're supposed to think. You know, that's where you think. And people don't have, you know, when they're in their lust, they don't have that ability to think. Right? Speaking, memory, movement. You got the parietal lobe to do with language and touch. Occipital lobe, which is vision and color perception, and cerebellum to do with your balance coordination. Right? So that's kind of like a basic understanding of parts of the brain. And imagine, you know, let's see how certain parts of your body, hey, they like it says, man, you know, we're one body in your house, shy, man. The leg isn't working, man. Right? Damn, your leg doesn't tell you to move out of sync. You have to be all in unison. You know, that's why you have to avoid the appearance of evil, man. You have to avoid the appearance, abstain. Right? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:21. See that? It's spirit. My brother saying in that camp. Right. First Thessalonians 5:22. Abstain from all appearance of evil. So you got to abstain from that. Right? Oh, well, just nah. She's an Israelite. Trust me. You're just saying she's an Israelite because she's got no clothes on. And she told you, yeah, come to my house. Yeah, I'm gonna show you I'm an Israelite, all right? But you're being simple And you're saying, no, she's an Israelite. She's definitely no. I'm gonna go after her in Romans 11. Now the breakdown starts. Just the breakdown starts going all over the place. Right? This is Proverbs 5 and verse 3. It says, "For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil." Right? She's saying everything you want to hear, man. Right? That's why her does it mean she got oily lips, man? Right? Does it mean, oh yeah, she got oily lips? Hey, it means, man, right? She's a damn soothsayer. She's a sorcerer. It's Daniel 2 and verse 2. It says, "Then the king commanded to call the magicians, the astrologers," right? Let me see if it's more than this. "And the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king." Right? Let me see if it's this one. Right. Might be 7. Right? Let me see. Where is it? Right, because the kings, they had soothsayers, man. Right? And a soothsayer, right, what's their purpose, man? They just sit there and talk rubbish. Well, really, yeah. A lot of the time, yeah. Right? A soothsayer, right? Sorcerers and, all these, they were there. Like, even the king had jesters, people make him laugh, right? Let's see if I can find it. Let me see. Soothsayers. Well, we'll use this then, right? And we'll get the meaning of that. This is Joshua 13 and 22. It says Balaam, and again, even, King Nebuchadnezzar, those men, they would have told the king the things that he wants to hear. Yeah, we want to hear this. Yeah, tell us this, man. We don't want to hear the hard things. We want to hear soft things. Right? That's what a strange woman will do. Right? Now you've gone into all kinds of damn fornication. Oh, I didn't know. Hey, you knew. Right? You liked the sound, what she was saying. It's sweet. She's so sweet. Oh my gosh. Right? It says, Joshua 13 and 22, Balaam, also the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel slay. And that's what you're supposed to do, man. Right? Slay the soothsayer, man. Did the children of Israel slay with the sword among them that was slain. Right? So let's get that word. Get that. Book of Joshua 13 and 22. Well, really the word for soothsayer, not the whole thing. Right? And, you see that? So soothsayer. See that? It says to practice divination. Right? It says of diviners of the nation, Balaam, of false prophets. Let's see what it says more down here. Right? So someone that prophesies falsely. The primary idea that that's all right, but let's get a meaning here. Soothsayer. See, one who speaks truth. Got a fortune teller. One who claims to foretell the future. So, be careful with these women. And be careful of these men. Because really, you know, if it's either double to that, which is a strange woman could be an adoption, man. They lusting after the damn heathen being saved. Oh, let me watch this damn video of the heathen. I'm gonna get saved in this one. You're rubbing your damn hands like this, trying to start a fire, right? Oh, you're damn. Oh, you know, you're lusting, man. Right? So reading on, it says, but this is what it says. Proverbs 5:4. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. So her end, right? And wormwood, right? Wormwood, I believe it's like a poison, right? Let me see what that is saying. Oh, it's a medicine, right? I gotta type it in the Bible because they're gonna tell you, you know, it's a damn heathen, right? So in the Bible, wormwood refers to a group of shrub-like plants from the Artemisia genus, known for their intense, extreme bitterness, right? So see that it's a metaphor to symbolize sin, sorrow, or and God's judgment. So something's like wormwood, right? That means, hey, it's not a good end, man. This is, you know, the metaphors, similes, similitudes, right? Not positive. No, let's read on. Verse 5, it says, her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. And it's hell, people say, oh, it's hell, right? Maybe you know what, William would do a breakdown on this hell as well, man. Right? Hell, and this, and then they say, I get the grave, right? Or is it the lowest state? Well, you get with a woman, and again, woman or man, their steps, they could lead you to the grave. Literally, you could die because you got some whatever disease, or you slept with someone's, you know, partner that killed you, or now you're in. You can have these diseases, and you don't die. And now you walk around, right? You don't know what to do with yourself. You can't touch you can't even hug your nephews now. That's hell. Now you're saying, okay, now you're saying 2 meters, 2 meters, Bob shot. So straight up and down, man, her steps do take hold on her to death, right? Death being sin, right? So straight up and down, don't be damn confounded by you just see something. Okay, nah, Proverbs 30, right? It's either 30, probably Proverbs 6 and 30. Proverbs 6 and 30. Right. This is it. Proverbs 6 and verse 24. It says to keep thee from the evil woman, right? And again, yes, it can literally be a woman. It can also be a doctrine, right? It can also be wisdom, right? And right, let's just keep, you know, biblical integrity. It says to keep, Proverbs 6 and 24, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart. And we read that, Jeremiah 17. Right, who can know it? Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Right? Right? And you know, might be fake or not. That's saying it's fake, right? It's a meme, right? That whole eyelash spirit, right? They say, right? It was you see that? According to a widely shared urban legend on social media, elongated eyelashes were allegedly invented in 1882 by a London prostitute named Gerda Periddle to protect her eyes during work, right? And we know what work this was, man. Right? It's saying I was fabricated. Hey, man. I don't want to put. I just put eyelashes because Google it's not all child friendly, right? And saying I was a sin to have eyelashes. I'm not saying that. I say how you're saying. You're saying it's a sin, right? Never said it was a sin. It's discernment, as you come of age, you don't want to be walking around, right? And right, Eve. Now I see Eve. They doing these videos, and they start crying because of the damn how the eyelashes damn put onto the damn eye, right? Damn, looking like this, man. So when she was doing her work, right? You can do your own research on what kind of work she was doing. Right? So don't and that's why you gotta it says to make a covenant with your eyes. You damn staring at women. Right? So what does Sirach 9 and 8 say, man? And every brother and every sister should have Sirach 9 and 8 at the forefront of their mind. Right? So Sirach 9, what does Sirach 9 and 8 say? That should be at the forefront of your mind. This is Sirach. So you have to start from 9 and 3. This is Sirach 9 and 3. Meet not with an harlot, lest thou fall into her snares. Some men, hey, they go and they call up numbers. Oh, yeah, love, where you at? And they damn go and meet with a harlot, man. No brother or sister, well. And these Chippendales, right? Magic Mike spirit. Right? Oh, sister, oh yeah, what was my stag do, hen do? And they go into damn Piccadilly Circus, right? We're going to watch the Chippendales and there's men and they're wearing damn ties and they're damn on a chair. And that's madness. Right? That is absolute madness. Right? Reading on, Sirach 9 and 4. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. And let's get this in another version. Right? Now you're saying, I don't meet with Mariah Carey. Right? I can get this in another version, but sure. Let's see this. Sirach 9 and 4. I said they will trick you. That's why the Bible is funny, man. This is funny. This is beautiful precepts, man. Sirach 9 and 4. It says, do not spend too much time with a woman who sings to entertain men. She can use many tricks to take control of you. And this is the Bible, man. This is the Bible, man. Look at this. Sirach 9 and 5 and 4, in the Douay Rheims Bible. Use not much the company of her that is a dancer. Right? You go into the strip club, man. You go to the strip club. You're making it rain. You're doing that. and you're talking to the girl, you done, right? Saying, oh yeah, you saying I can change you, Yeah, me. And you do this. Because obviously you want to let her know that you're on the Hebrew team. Kind of, you show her that I'm trying to kind of throw up, yeah. You think you're going to change her, man? Right? I'm going to change it. Hey, the Lord can change who he wants. But shine. But that whole, now you go. Anyway, use not much the company of her that is a dancer, right? And hearken not to her, lest thou perish by the force of her charms. Right? What a precept that is, man. So Sirach 9 and verse 4. And 9 and 5, it says, gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are pretty. You see that? Confounding me. Right? Yeah, this word it means that precious. It is precious. That are precious in her. Let's get this in another version as well. So Sirach 9 and 5. It says, do not look intently at a virgin, or you may find yourself. See that? Hey, all praise to the Most High for this precept, man. Right. These are the precepts for the young men and the young sisters, man. Right? And the sisters that are of age as well. It's coming to the truth. Brothers, it's coming to the truth. You're of age. Hey, sex is marriage, man. See, this is sex is marriage right here in the precepts. Oh, no. Hey, sex is marriage. It says, Sirach 9 and 5, do not gaze too long at a virgin. If you talk her into having sex, you will have to pay a fine and marry her, man. Right? That's mighty. Right? That's the precept, man. Right? That's the damn precepts. Now he's saying, I'm trying to tell her dad, look, hey, I don't have any shekel. Hey, shut up. And he's showing you, Exodus 22 and damn 16. Hey, provide them shekels, man. Bah, shimmer my shai, woman like yo, shy. And you can't provide. Now you're saying, okay, cool. And you work for me now. Right? He turns into damn, what was it? Laban. Right? Damn. Right, where's the app, bud? Right, he kind of told him, hey, give me my wife, man. Right? Anytime. That's the Bible, bud. Right? Where's that? Where's that? That's the Bible. Right? Let me see if I can get that, man. Genesis 29. The book of Genesis 29, right? And I think verse 23. So this guy, man, this Genesis 29, hey, he finessed Jacob, man. Genesis 29 and 20, and Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. Hey, love your wives, man. Right, brothers that have wives, sisters that have husbands, they love each other, man. Right, you have to love each other. I don't want to. I'm ignoring him, and that's off. Right? Don't, just because your husband's wicked, now you find an excuse. Okay, I'm gonna be wicked as well. You're off. You're going off. You're going completely off. I'm gonna be wicked, and I'm not gonna. That's off. Where's that in the Bible? Right? So, hey, point being though, hey, LeBron, hey, he kind of, he said, hey, you gotta work for me, right? So, like it says in that Sirach, man, now you're damn, you're gonna pay, you have to pay a fine. Sirach 9 and 6. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. Because now, now your household is a mess, right? Now your household is a mess, right? So households all over the place. You hate the first wife, right? You're saying, no, the inheritance goes to her. And you just, it goes to this, it's what's going on, man. Right? It's a Sirach. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. I think it's this. Right. I might be able to find it. But there's a precept in, in the law, and it tells you how you would literally, you just because you hate you hate, say you hate your first wife, right? You can't remove the inheritance to the second one. I love her more. You can't do that, right? Let's see. Wife. Let's see. I might not be able to find it if I'm honest. But that's all good. All right, let me Google it. Might be like something like this. See that they're bringing up down laws. We don't care about those things there, man. Oh, Deuteronomy 21 and 15. Deuteronomy 21 and verse 15. It says, "If a man have two wives," and they say, "Oh, that's off. That's off." Oh, who wrote this? Oh, this is getting emotional. Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he have, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. So you couldn't remove the inheritance. I say, oh no, don't worry. Right? So you're gonna what does it say about a man? Your household, man. You gotta hold your household together. You gotta get your household in order. You gotta get your ish together. It's Sirach 27:3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. Why? Because, well, firstly, he's damn fornicating. He's a luster, right? I've never heard of luster before. But he's all of the above, man. Right? He's damn. You got a wife. You watching porn, and that doesn't mean, oh yeah, you can. You shouldn't be. You damn late at night, your ribs. I'm just going out to the shop, and you just damn slide down. Rather than doing a breakdown, you open up your laptop and you're typing in God knows what. You're typing in, oh, Edomite, damn woman. Right? Your household is going to be overthrown. Right? So, going back to it, Sirach 9 and verse 7. It says, look not round about thee in the streets. See that? Damn. Jake, man. Jake is so simple, man. Right? I don't know how it, obviously in the States, it's worse. But, you know, in the UK, for us over here, you know, you can't just drive down certain places and just see, you know, a lot of the time, you know, in America, for example, in Babylon, you see like, you know, Hispanic women, Eves, and all these, you know, they're kind of outside and they're trying to, you know, and you know what's going on. Feel like you can't tell. Okay, maybe she's just standing there. She's not just standing there. She's doing work. Unfortunately, man, and that's the sad reality of this wicked place we live in. Right, but it says, look round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof. So don't. Now you're just trying to look for, oh, where can I find damn rubbing your mitts together, man. I can't find. Yeah, maybe you stop. Maybe Soho. Stop thinking of all these locations, man. We're wandering in the streets, man. Right, lost. Right. Look what happened to Dinah. Who told her to go and wander? Oh, Jacob. No, Jacob didn't tell her anything. Right? 34. This is Genesis 34, verse 1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, when she bare unto Jacob, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. Hey, I always say this, you know, we would bring this one out, Lord willing, to the sisters, man. No one, Jacob didn't say, yeah, hey, just take a trip down there. Jacob didn't say that. Oh, Jacob, yeah, my dad told me. No, he didn't. Reading on, it says, when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. Does that mean, oh, she was, you know, raped? No. Right? It's not enough. That's not in the same, like you have with David's son. Right? I believe, top of my head, I don't want to say it's Absalom. It's not. I don't believe it's Absalom, but David's son, right? He literally raped his sister, right? They say no, he didn't, right? And now I gotta put KJV because they think I'm doing a mad thing, right? Yeah, see that save us on Absalom. See, I believe it's Ammon, right? Now I'm talking about damn stop it UK, right? So you know when you read 2 Samuel 13 tomorrow, right? That's what that's going into, right? Just to put it out there, right? So that's not in the same instance as in Genesis 34, right? So, and she was defiled from that. So even, you know, you again with these nations, man, they defile you. Oh, nah, it's nothing. We're just, you know, he believes in Christ. I know he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You don't believe in Christ. You don't believe in Yahshua. You don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. You don't believe in the prophecies in damn Isaiah 60 or Revelation 2, right? Revelation 21. And you don't believe in that. You don't believe our salvations are only of children of Israel, or the Israelite. Oh no, you don't believe in that, right? So, Sirach 9 verse 8, it says, "Turn away this," and this is the precept. This is a precept. Every brother, every sister, keep in the forefront of your mind. It's hot. The heat's coming out. You're getting thoughts. And the thoughts can be sin. I say, oh well, just a little leaven of the whole lump. Sirach 9 and 8. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman. Right? And the ancient women, the women in the ancient world, even the harlots, they were covered up. You can't say, oh, all the nations there, the women ugly. Hey, well, we know chiefly the children, the daughters of Sarah, they are the most beautiful women, right? And that's according to the precepts, right? And again, it's beyond just your outward appearance. Your spirit is really what is the definition of what your beauty is, right? So it says, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire, right? That's that lust, right? Now you're damn burning up, because, oh yeah, I saw her, and now you damn start turning into the damn temptations, man. You singing, you damn, looking damn blind, right? You can't be deceived by the beauty of a woman, right? Don't go out, like it's in 1 Ezra 4, don't sin, may lost their way for women, man, right? So kind of start winding down, right? Let's get Job 31, right? About looking with a woman. You make a covenant with your eyes, man. You look at certain things and people, you make a covenant, man. Right? That's a covenant that you make. Right? Now you're wondering, why is it that I'm having all these damn they call them wet dreams. Right? Oh, I have a cold shower that will stop it. Ain't no cold shower not gonna stop that. Right? It's praying and fasting. Oh, if I die, hey, do this, da, da, da. Hey, the only way you stop that is by praying and fasting. Right? Get that quick. Matthew chapter 17. Matthew 17 and 21. It says, howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So that's how it goes out, man. It doesn't go out because of, goes out by praying and fasting. But this is Job 31 and 1. I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? Why should you sit there? You're at work. You're at camp. You're thinking about your rib, your damn, all kinds of madness, man. Oh, we hey, used to be a brother in the congregation, man. Damn, licking his lips. Licking his lips, sisters are walking past, start using the precepts, and you see, our women are beautiful, and damn, it's like, what the hell kind of sorcery is this? Right? Using the precepts and right? Damn, doing all of that. Hey, first and foremost, man, forget all of that, man. Your mindset. What's going on over there? Up here. Right? What's going on? It says, verse 2, it says, for what portion of Yahweh is there from above, and what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? Right? It says, me see. I'm gonna maybe I might have to jump down. See that? This is I'm gonna jump to this. This is Job 31:4. Do if you not see my ways and count all my steps. These times, Jake, oh yeah, hey, I done 10,000 steps. And the Most High knows you didn't do 10,000 steps, man. He knows the exact 10,361.5802. Most High is precise. Right? So he knows what you're thinking, right? You're trying to deceive a sister, you're trying to deceive a brother. Right? It says, verse 5, if I have walked with vanity, or if my foot have hasted to deceit, right? Let me be weighed in an even balance, that Yahweh may know mine integrity. Because most I know you showing your integrity, man. Right? In an even balance. It says verse 7. If my step have turned out of the way, and mine heart walked after mine eyes, and if any blot have cleaved to my hands. If you walk after your eyes, you walk after, oh, I see this and I want that. That's just you just a glutton. Right? Verse 8, it says, then let me sow and let another eat. Yea, let my offspring be rooted out. Because the Most High is gonna, like a chess piece, man, yeah, move you off, and the next brother or the next sister is gonna replace you. It says verse 9, if my heart have been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door. What are you laying wait at your neighbor's door for? Yeah, I'm waiting for him. It's off, right? It says verse 10, then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her. Right? Do we need a breakdown for what it means if someone grinds up? You know, if your wife grinds onto another. Right? You go and you be deceitful, and you trying to plot on people's, someone's wife, right? Hey, she's gonna grind. So the same way you do, hey, so your wife's gonna grind onto another as well, and then they're gonna bow down upon her. That's the Bible. Like say, oh, wow, hey, that's the Bible, man. What does it mean? Let's read it in another translation. Right? What does it mean? Right? They're gonna bow down. Right? They're gonna grind. What does it mean? See that? Straight up and down. Right? It's Job 31:10. Right? It says NIV, then may my wife grind another man's grain. Right? Why is your wife grinding another man's grain? And make other men sleep with her. See that? That's just, yeah, man. Because again, you're sowing that evilness and whatever, hey, that's going to be done unto you. Verse 11. For this is a heinous crime. Yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges, meaning what? Adultery. Right? That's adultery. Some kind of fornication. Right? This is Deuteronomy. If I get another one. Right. See if I can find it. Alright, let me see. Let's get Deuteronomy, because if it's punished by the judges, what the hell do you think they're going to do? Actually, Judges 19. This is the book of Deuteronomy 19. And I'll start from verse 18. Right? It says, and this is going into really judgments. Right? Judges 19 and 18. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, Then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother, so shalt thou put away evil from among you. So, playing upon tables, man. That's adultery, right? That they would have judged that one, right? So, straight up and down, right? Hey, don't commit adultery, man. Right? Playing upon tables, right? And yeah, man. Just another quick point. Effects of porn on the brain. This means that prolonged pornography can weaken natural pleasure responses and reinforce compulsive behavior. Right? A 2014 study found that heavy porn users show significantly reduced activity in critical areas of the brain responsible for motivation and impulse control, suggesting long-term neurological rewiring. So a porn, right? These spirits, they can rewire your whole brain. But all praise to the Most High, how watching me on try, right? Lord willing, that's edifying, man. And these last days, don't get caught out there, right? But all praise to the Most High, how watching me on try, all right? Kwame Charlotte, Krum Yasha Allah, man, Shalom.